Hello there, welcome and thank you for joining us for another installment of eShibobo. I'm your host, Oji Mulefe. Now, after the international break, it's back to regular programming with league matches scheduled for this weekend. And this is always a great time for coaches who've had to keep their players busy with a string of friendly matches. And we had all hoped that Bafana Bafana would have sealed qualification for the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations in Polokwane, but sadly it wasn't to be, following the 0-0 draw against Congo at the Peter Mokaba Stadium on Wednesday. And our women's national team haven't had it easy at the African Women's Championships in Namibia. We hope that they will be able to beat Algeria and stay in the AWC. Anyway, for now, let's take a look at what's coming up on the show today. Congo coach Claude Le Roy leaves everyone confused as he threatens to report Shakes Mashaba to CAF and FIFA. We catch up with Wilfred Mugay as he takes up the hot seat at Amazulu. And we'll check out the newly launched Indian Super League. Now, we saw how Bafana were held to a 0-0 draw on Wednesday night, but what we did not see, though, was something that allegedly happened, but not many witnessed the incident. The rain was not the only force coming down on Bafana Bafana coach Shakes Mashaba at the Peter Mokaba Stadium on Wednesday night. The post-match press conference was unexpectedly turned into a thunderstorm of accusations against the 54-year-old after the match, and it could potentially spell some disciplinary trouble for the Bafana coach. Of course, that's if there's any inkling of truth to the accusations.
After playing out to a frustrating 0-0 draw at Peter Mokaba Stadium on Wednesday night, tensions between the South African and Congolese camps reached a culpable boiling point in the post-match press conference when Claude Le Roy launched a scathing tirade at his South African counterpart.
I like this Bafana team. There are a lot of skillful players, intelligent players, but I love a little bit more my team. And I'm very proud of this team, but I'm shocked by the behavior of the head coach of Bafana at the end of the game, who showed me with his hand something that I cannot do in front of ladies. But I can tell you, we have a photo, one of our photographs, and I think the FIFA and the CAF, they will receive this photo because from an educator, you cannot accept that in terms of behavior.
The highly decorated former Ghana, Cameroon and Senegal coach went on to dub the incident as the greatest insult of his career.
If I play 7 Africa Cup of Nations, it's because and with never any problem with anybody, with not one coach in my career. It's the first time. I can tell you, some people saw that. I couldn't believe it was possible.
When questioned about the incident by media shortly after, coach Shakes Mashaba seemed visibly perplexed by the accusation.
He says I showed him something.
He said he didn't want to show us in front of the woman what you showed him.
And it's unfortunate I can't comment. So what is something? I gave him a South African expensive pendant before the game started. I shook his hand. Half-time, full-time, I never even came close to that man. I never went close to him. I don't know what is he saying. Let him come with the pictures and let's see what is he talking about.
Coach Le Roy did insist that he and his staff have a photograph of the incident in their possession and have threatened to report it to FIFA and CAF. eShibobo will keep a close eye on the story as it unfolds. Junior Steinbank for eShibobo in Polokwane.
Yeah, anyway, Banyana Banyana's African Women's Championship campaign was dealt a massive blow when they were beaten 1-0 by Cameroon in their opening Group B match, and they only managed the draw with Ghana in their second game. And victory against Algeria is the only factor that will keep South African hopes alive, and Amanda Dlamini believes that they've got what it takes to stay in the competition.
All our games haven't been very easy. I think we also got into this group knowing that none of the games will be easy. Our match against Cameroon was very difficult as well. It was a very tough contest. They matched us in every aspect of the game. I think also their preparations were good. But it was just a bit unfortunate that we lost at the dying minutes of the game. And again, also with Ghana, we dug very deep. We had to dig deep, and we showed so much character. But I think also it's still the matter of addressing our goal-scoring aspects. I think as a team, we worked so very well together leading up to our goals, but we need that composure and just to convert our chances. But now those are the past games. What we have to take from the past games is what we've learned and the positives that we can also apply in our next game against Algeria, which will be very important because it's a very crucial game for us. It's one of those do or die games, and I think everyone is just calm about it. Our technical staff is very supportive, our captain as well. So I think everyone is just really supportive and in that mind frame of wanting to try again. We have to keep trying again. We have to keep going until the last end.
Now, moving back to local football, it's a top-of-the-table clash at the Cape Town Stadium this weekend when second-placed Ajax take on pace-setters Kaizer Chiefs. Now, Ajax handed Kaizer Chiefs their first defeat in the league last season at the very same venue, and only time will tell if they can do the same this time around. And Urban Warriors coach Roger Ressa will be boosted by the return of his Bafana Bafana players, including the 17-year-old Rivaldo Kutsia, who was impressive in his debut for the national team.
I was really delighted to see that he was playing. When I got the news that he was in the starting 11, I got quite excited for him. I had no doubts about him. I think his ability, his whole presence is so calm and so collective. So I always felt that he had a chance. I just think that the biggest factor here is that you've got a 17-year-old playing his debut in Congo. And I think for some of you guys that have been there, you know what it's like. Playing for your country, and I think the biggest factor is a central defender. I think that was the difficult part. I think if you play on the right wing or left mid, you can hide a bit. But I think the kid was thrown into the deep end, and I was really happy that he came through it. And I think the players around him were great. I think now coming back from the national team, it'll be great that he's got a game like this. You know, it's a lot worse when you come up from such a high, and then you're playing in a stadium with 6 people. You know, I think it's nice that he keeps that momentum going of big crowds and big expectations, big games. That will be great.
Let's take a look at what's in this week's Soccer Laduma. Vets won 15 million rand for Spusiso Vilakazi, and Pungwayo is set to extend his stay with the Buccaneers and a new Chiefs deal for Lebese. And Sundowns blocked Mangale's DRC hearing. Now, for those stories and more behind-the-scenes stories, you can make sure to get your copy of Soccer Laduma. It's on newsstands around the country at the moment, or you can simply visit their website on www.soccerladuma.co.za and join the Soccer Laduma Supporters Club and play your part in local football. Now, here's Clint Roper with more details.
Hey guys, I'm Clint Roper, editor of Soccer Laduma. With me, 2 very prominent guests, 2 of the biggest supporters in South African soccer. And they're excited because PSL football starts up again this weekend, which gives you guys a chance to get onto www.soccerladuma.co.za and play the PSL Predictor game and win points. I'm going to ask right now for their predictions. Machaka, 1 against 2, Ajax vs Chiefs. What's the score?
2-1 to Amakosi.
Dejan, Free State Stars up against Pirates. What's the score?
2-1 for Pirates.
You've heard their predictions. Get on our site, make your predictions, but don't vote with your heart, vote with your head. Cheers.